48 hours from now, the protocol that connects AI to everything gets the biggest upgrade in its history. MCP is the standard that OpenAI, Google, Microsoft, and Amazon have all adopted. More than 20,000 public servers exist, and the Python package behind it was downloaded 68 million times last week. So, which servers are actually worth installing? I didn't guess. I pulled today's real numbers for every major server, GitHub stars, weekly installs, ranked the top 11, and then ran every single one on this machine to prove what works. And along the way, I found something nobody is talking about. 4 servers from the official starter list are dead, and people are still installing them over 300,000 times a week. Let's go. 30 seconds of context if you're new to this. MCP, the Model Context Protocol, is an open standard that Anthropic released in late 2024. It gives any AI assistant one common way to plug into your tools: your files, your browser, your databases, your apps. Install a server once, and your assistant gains that skill. Now, the ranking rules, because I want you to trust this list. Every number you'll see was pulled straight from the GitHub API and the package registries this morning. No vibes and nobody paid to be here. And before any server earned its spot, I actually ran it, headless, on my machine. You'll see the real terminal output as we go, counting down from 11. Number 11. PAL, formerly known as Zen. 11,700 stars. This one turns your single AI into a panel. Claude can hand a question to GPT or Gemini mid-conversation for second opinions, code reviews, even structured debates between models. And I'll be straight with you. The last release was in December, and on a modern setup, it wouldn't even install. Its own config asks for one Python version while its dependencies demand another. One line patched and then it ran beautifully. 18 tools came up, and when I asked its chat tool a question, a second model answered from inside my Claude session. The receipts are on screen. My rule for it: use it when a decision is expensive. A second model reviewing your architecture costs cents and catches real mistakes. Number 10. Framelink, the Figma context server. 15,500 stars, 82,000 installs a week. You paste a link to a Figma frame, and instead of squinting at a screenshot, your AI reads the actual design data: layout, spacing, colors, components, and writes code that matches. One honest catch, and my test proved it. Without a Figma token, the server never even comes up. No token, no tools. The token is free and takes about 2 minutes in your Figma settings. If you turn designs into code every week, this is the closest thing to real design to code that ships today. Worth knowing, this is a community project. It outstars the official one from the company itself. Number 9. MCP Toolbox from Google. 16,000 stars. One single binary that speaks to practically every database you'd meet at work: Postgres, MySQL, BigQuery, SQLite, even Spanner. There's nothing to install around it. You download one file and point it at your data. I pointed it at a little SQLite shop database and asked plain English questions. Watch the terminal. It listed the tables, guessed a column name wrong, corrected itself by reading the schema, then came back with the right answers: total stock and the most expensive product. That self-correction is exactly what you want near real data. The recipe: connect it to a read-only copy of your work database, and you've got an analyst on call all day. Number 8. The N8N server from the community. 22,000 stars, 97,000 installs a week. Na10 is the self-hosted automation platform. And this server teaches your AI every node it has, what each one does and how to wire it. In my run, it pulled up the webhook node with its full schema on the first try. So instead of dragging boxes around a canvas for an hour, you describe the automation in one sentence, and it drafts the workflow for you. If you build automations for clients, this is the one on this list that pays invoices. Number 7. Blender MCP. 25,000 stars. This connects your AI to Blender, the free 3D suite. You describe a scene, and it builds real geometry, materials, and lighting. It's the server behind those viral clips of an AI furnishing an entire 3D room from one sentence. Full honesty. This is the one server on this list I could not run headless, and my terminal shows exactly why. The server boots, then reports. Could not connect to Blender. Make sure the add-on is running. It needs the actual Blender app open, with its add-on switched on. That's not a flaw, it's just a desktop tool. If you make product shots, mockups, or game assets, it is absurd fun for the price of zero. Quick pause. If this list is saving you time, follow us on Instagram and Facebook, Hyperautomation Labs. Same name everywhere. And if you want to back this kind of real testing, become a member on YouTube or a subscriber on Facebook. That's the whole ask. The top 6 are heavyweights. Let's go. Number 6. Serena from Orios. 27,000 stars. Completely free and open source. Out of the box, coding agents explore your code with search and file reads. Serena hands them the same engine your IDE uses, a real language server. Find the exact definition. Find every reference. Edit at the symbol level instead of rewriting files. In my test, it located a function and every place it's called, instantly with line numbers. On a big code base that saves real tokens and real wrong turns. If your AI keeps wandering around your repo, this is the upgrade. Number 5. The official GitHub server. 32,000 stars. And it runs remote, which means there is nothing to install at all. One command connects your assistant straight to GitHub's own endpoint. Issues, pull requests, actions, code search. The whole platform becomes tools. In my run, it fetched a repo's live star count and its freshest open issue in seconds. The daily win is triage. Ask for your open issues sorted by pain, have it draft the fix, and open the pull request in the same conversation. If you use GitHub and an AI assistant, there's no good reason not to connect this one. Number 4. Playwright MCP from Microsoft. 35,000 stars. And here's the number that matters more. 6.4 million downloads last week alone, which makes it the single most installed server of any kind on this list. Your AI drives a real browser, but instead of staring at screenshots, it reads the page's accessibility tree. Structured, fast, and cheap on tokens. In my test, it opened a page, pulled the exact title and text, and saved a screenshot to prove it was there. Use it for the boring gold. End-to-end tests you never got around to writing. Form flows, checkout checks, described in English, executed in a real browser. Number 3. Chrome DevTools. MCP from the Chrome team itself. Nearly 48,000 stars, 1.6 million installs a week. This puts your AI inside real developer tools. Console errors, network requests, performance traces. Here's my actual run. I asked it to profile a page. It opened Chrome, ran a trace, and came back with the real numbers. Largest contentful paint, 384 milliseconds, one network request from a real lab trace. Think about what that replaces. You, screenshotting a waterfall chart into a chatbot. Now the debugger reads its own instruments. Why is my page slow stops being your job. Number 2. Context. 7 by Upstash. 59,000 stars. The most starred single-purpose server in the world. Here's the problem it kills. Your AI learned every framework as it existed a year or two ago, so it will confidently write code against APIs that no longer exist. Context. 7 pipes current. Version correct documentation straight into the conversation. In my test, it resolved the docs for Remotion, the video framework, and quoted the live documentation back word for word. The habit to build. End your prompt with use context 7 whenever you code against anything that moves fast. Hallucinated API is just stop. And number 1, with 89,000 stars, the reference servers from the MCP project itself. 1 repo, 7 official servers. File system, fetch, git, time, sequential thinking, and the sleeper hit, memory. That one gives your AI a knowledge graph that survives between sessions. In my test, I stored a fact, closed nothing, asked for the graph back, and it returned the exact words I stored. That's your assistant remembering your stack, your preferences, and your project tomorrow morning. One honest catch from my logs. The file system server respects your client's workspace boundaries, not just its own settings. I asked it for a folder outside the project, and it refused. By design. That's a security feature you want. Install the memory server tonight. It's one line and it's on screen now. Before you install anything, the warning. That same reference repo used to ship 13 more servers. In April, they were archived. Dead. No updates and no security patches. Ever again. But the packages are still sitting on NPM, and last week, these dead packages were installed over 380,000 times. The old GitHub server, 128,000 installs. The old Postgres server, 129,000. Slack, 90,000. Puppeteer, 35,000. Every tutorial from 2025 points at these. So check before you trust any list, including mine. Everything I've shown you today was verified alive this morning, and the replacements for all 4 dead ones are in the free kit below. Now about that upgrade landing in 48 hours. On July 28, the new specs goes final, the largest revision since the protocol launched. Servers become stateless, which makes them far easier to run at scale. Extensions become first class, including apps with real interfaces and long-running tasks. And authorization gets serious, aligned with the same standard login plumbing the rest of the web runs on. The good news? Everything you just installed keeps working. And the 11 projects on this list are exactly the teams that adopt new specs fastest. You picked the right week to set this up. Every command from this video is in a free PDF. The 11 install lines ready to paste, what each server does, and when to reach for it, the tokens you need and where to get them, the 4 dead packages to avoid with their replacements, and a spec-day checklist. Comment the word 11 on this video and our assistant sends it over. Or grab it directly at hyperautomationlabs.co/free/11. Real talk. 90% of you watching haven't subscribed. On Facebook, subscribe is the supporter button. That is what keeps the lights on here. On YouTube, it's free and it tells the algorithm to send you more. Subscribe to support us. If you are just getting started with AI tools, the beginner guides are linked below. The complete Claude code guide, the Codex guide, the co-work sales guide, and the architect prep kit. Step by step from zero. We're on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram as Hyperautomation Labs. Same name everywhere. And tonight, install just one thing from this list, the memory server. It's a single line, and tomorrow, your AI wakes up already knowing your project. See you in the next one.